And before that, all the day's action in Match of the Day.
And coming up here for the races of the relegation zone between Sheffield United and Rangers to find out who will survive by the end of this match day. And also the races for Europe is on between Liverpool and Aston Villa, as those games will be also live here, featured here on BBC Match of the Day. Hello everybody here in the studio on the last ever Premier League games, of course, of the season, as we do have the races for a chance to qualify for European football and also the races for a chance of survival between Rangers and Sheffield United. And I'm here joined by with my fellow pundit beside me, Alan Shearer, as we'll talk things through first about the races for the relegation zone now. And how important, Alan, is this going to be in terms of the race of survival, what it means for Sheffield United and what it means also for Rangers to try and get a win in the respective matches when Rangers play Leicester and Sheffield United play Spurs here at 3 o'clock kickoff. Who do you reckon, in your opinion, Alan Shearer, on how it means the most in terms of this survival between these two teams, and also who do you reckon will survive by the end of these games? Well, the survival is going to be very important for Rangers and also Sheffield United in their respective games. But I feel that Sheffield United have got that massive win over Leicester in a few weeks ago. They did at Bramall Lane, 4-3 win. And that really gave them that massive edge on top of Rangers, of course, in terms of going into that last game of the season. But I feel that Sheffield United want to try and do anything what it takes, of course, to try and make sure that Spurs don't get in the game. And obviously for the other game for Rangers, I think all they've got to do is they're the home team. And there's nothing really bad, obviously, for Rangers because they're the home team in this game over Leicester. They really want to get into a good start in this game and really make sure that Sheffield United are very worried during the matchup over Spurs to be the ones to be outside the drop by the end of this games here on the last games of the season of the Premier League, for hopeful for Rangers to secure Premier League safety for next season. So really, in the way, Rangers have to really start very, very well in this game. And also Sheffield United, of course, got Spurs. Will be a tough one, I reckon, for Sheffield United. But hopefully they can survive it. And hopefully they could actually manage to hope that Leicester City can do a favour for Rangers to stop Rangers from picking up a result over Leicester at the Ibrox Stadium, to give Sheffield United a massive chance, of course, to be the ones to be safe, to be part of the Premier League for next season. Thank you very much there, Alan, in the studio here to talk about these two teams. We get straight now into the games, of course. We have Leicester City will travel away from home to take on Rangers. And could Rangers beat Leicester for a chance of safety? And could Sheffield United shock and surprise Spurs and trying to help themselves to try and avoid the drop by the end of the games here of the race for survival? Let's get to those games between Sheffield United and Spurs and Rangers and Leicester. Let's get to it. We are here live for the game here, for the battle of the relegation dogfight between Sheffield United and Rangers, of course. But Sheffield United do play Tottenham in this game, and a very important matchup, hopefully, for Sheffield United to really, let's say, hope that Leicester City can win their respective matchup at Ibrox to help Sheffield United to escape the drop, escape the relegation zone. As currently we all know that now that Sheffield United are 2 points above Rangers in the Premier League, and we know how important this game really is. And the worst defending team also in the Premier League could end up surviving here by the end of this afternoon. And could Chris Wilder could do that? We have to find out about the game if he can keep the team up away from the drop. But as of for Sheffield United, for their team here for this afternoon's game, as we do have the coverage here of the lineup, of course, between Sheffield United and also Tottenham. As we'll start things first, as the lineup will begin right here, right now, after these two teams will shake each other's hand before the kickoff is underway between these two teams. So it looks like here we do have the goalkeeper, will be for Sheffield United, will be here as Wes Foderingham. It will be the goalkeeper for Sheffield United. We also have Jack Robinson, we got Souza, Oliver Norwood, Cameron Archer and James McAtee up front as well for Sheffield United. And they've got a strong team, of course. But as for Spurs, however, they do have a top team as well. As goalkeeper will be Lopez, the goalie, alongside here Mickey van der Ven, Romero, Trippier, Udogie, Fekir, Fabinho, Song, Harry Kane, and also Kulusevski in the team. And also Basuma as well. Now all the way to Mickey van der Ven. Now here's Basuma. Now here's Fekir. Now Fekir's pushing through. Now all the way here to a chance here from Norwood. Now Souza. Now McAtee. And now McAtee there pushing through. And now here's Bogle. And now here's Archer. Good shot there, but saved right there for the goalkeeper. And now here we are live here at Rangers here for this afternoon. And we do have it in the bag, of course, for this game. As Rangers versus Leicester City. As they're both going to be at it here in this matchup to find out who out of the two sides will give it against each other. We know that Jamie Vardy, of course, will be in the team. And he'll be the main talisman for Leicester, definitely. And hopefully he'll create some magic, hopefully so maybe, for the Leicester City team to try and stop Rangers from winning here. Because it's a very must-win game for Rangers, of course, to try and win here at Ajax. Because Sheffield United, of course, have got a very, let's say, hard game over Spurs at Bramall Lane. But as of the Rangers, they've got this, say, that chance, of course, to win here over Leicester. And if Sheffield United end up losing that game, or even drawing the Spurs, then Rangers could win this game and survive the relegation drop if they could win here over Leicester. The worst goal difference on the Sheffield United team could really help Rangers and really utilise them to try and win the game here this afternoon. Samba in goal, we've got Goldson, we've got Longstrom, Tom Kearney, Andres Pereira, Willian as well, Harry Wilson, and also Delano up front for Rangers. But as of course, here for Leicester City, we do have here the lineup with Schmeichel. We also have Johnny Evans as well, and as well we got is Kieran Drisby-Hall, Maddison, Wilfred Ndidi, and also we're going to have here Harvey Barnes as well, Maddison and Jamie Vardy up front for Leicester. And now here's Drisby-Hall here for Leicester now. Pass the ball here for Vardy. Now Vardy's through, really pushing through here. Now Vardy tries to shoot here, and a goal there for Vardy. And what a brilliant finish right there from him. And he slots that ball home. And it's 1-0 to Leicester in the game. What a finish. What a goal. And Leicester City are in front here over Rangers. What a superb finish. And what a superb goal. And that's not looking good here for Rangers, of course, here. Because they're losing 1-0 to Rangers. And it looks like here that Rangers could be in big trouble to be relegated to the Championship if it stays like this. 1-0 already for Leicester City in the game. 1-0 already in the matchup. And Vardy scored. And now here's to Wilson. Lost it back down to Kieran Drisby-Hall. And now here's Jamie Vardy now pushing through. He lofts the goalkeeper over and he scores another goal. Another great finish. Another superb goal for Jamie Vardy. What a finish. And what an amazing chip past the goalkeeper. He chipped that right past the keeper. Definitely he has. And right there, Samba couldn't do anything, unfortunately. Here's Harry Wilson. Now here's to Justin. Now Kieran Drewsbury Hall now to Ndidi. Now to Perez. Now pushing through here now for Leicester. Barnes shoots, post, body again! Another goal for making 3-0 within the first 15 minutes of the game. Jamie Vardy makes it 3 for Leicester. What a goal there from Vardy. He had a shot, hit the post, and he went straight to the head there, into Vardy's head right there. Now here's Fekir. Now to Song. Now to Basuma. Now Kane. Holds it. Now Oliver Norwood. Now Cameron Archer. Now Kane. Now Christian Romero. Now Fekir. Has a shot. Save right there for the goalie. Massive chance right here for him to score, but here's Kulusevski. The cross went to the box in a Kane, and Kane scores a header. What an amazing goal right there from Harry Kane to slot that ball into the back of the net from a header there for a set piece cross. And what an amazing goal right there for Spurs. And even though that Sheffield United might be okay a little bit, because Leicester City are winning by 3-0 at Ajax. But as for Kane to score here over Sheffield United, I don't think Sheffield United will be any time worried whatsoever about this, whatsoever. Now, save there from Samba. He moves that ball away from danger here now to Lalo now to Evans. And now here's Dewsbury now to Vardy. Now Vardy now. He's pushing through. And that's going to be, looks like here, red card's been given. And it looks like there that John Schlutter right there has been fouled. One of the players for Leicester. And it's red card for him. Jimmy Vardy was taken out by Schlutter. And Rangers are in big trouble. And Rangers are definitely now in massive trouble now. 3-0 down already. And they're down to 10 men already as well. Within half an hour of the game. Now Kieran Drewsbury Hall has a shot. Blocked there for a corner here for Leicester. And Leicester City have been absolutely magnificent so far. They're winning 3-0 here over Rangers, who had to really put the pressure on here on Leicester for a chance for survival. But it looks like Sheffield United got nothing to play for over time at the moment as we speak. And now here's a chance here for Maddison. Now to Perez. Now to Barnes. Shoot. Save again there from Samba. Another corner there's been given here for Leicester. It looks like here we got obviously Harry Wilson coming off the field. And he's been replaced here by the other Rangers player in this game. Now pass ball short here to... Okay, Furrow's being given. Now here's Willian. Now Barnes. Now Kieran Drewsbury Hall. Into the box here, header there. Could be a goal, and it is! 4-0 to Leicester. And right there, Perez puts that ball past the goalkeeper of the keeper of Samba. And Samba right there could not save that goal there from Avencio Perez. As now 4-0 to Leicester. And all the fans are very quiet here at Ajax. Very quiet. And by the way, we do hear that Sheffield United will be safe of the Premier League for next season, because at the moment that Leicester City are winning 4-0 at the Ajax Stadium as we speak. So Sheffield United will be safe from relegation if it stays like this at the moment, despite them losing the game here by 1-0. But here's Son Heung-min, has a chance in the shoot maybe here for Spurs. Save right there for Wes Frodden right there for the goalkeeper for Sheffield United. And now cross into the box here. Header there, could be, post. Clearance, clears away. And the whistle blows for half time. And Spurs do take the lead in the break. 1-0 in the matchup here for Spurs. Only 1-0 in the matchup. As what an amazing goal from Harry Kane from a header though in the first half. As it ends at half time, Sheffield United 0, Spurs 1 at the break. And now here's to Drewsbury Hall. Now to Vardy. Now Vardy there holds the ball nicely here for Leicester. Here's Drewsbury Hall. Has a shot. Save right there for the goalkeeper. Right in his hands as well. Nice and comfortably right there from him. And the whistle here blows for the end of the first half. As it looks like here Rangers have to score at least 5 goals now to beat past Leicester's score for any chance for Rangers to be safe from relegation. Now 99% sure now that Rangers will be relegated by the end of the game. 4-0 as it stands for Leicester. And we are back here for the second half. And now Sheffield United now the ball here. Now is Hammer. Now to Oliver Norwood now. Now to Souza. Now to McAtee. Now McAtee there holds it. Archer now has the ball here for Sheffield United. And now here's to, again. And now Luigi. Keeps it on. Oh, he lost the ball though. He lost the ball. And now it looks like here it's going to be a substitution here for Sheffield United. And now here's Piera. And now here's Tom Kearney. Now to Andres Piera. Piera now to Danilo. Oh, save right there for the goalkeeper. Good chance for him to try and save that one. But unfortunately, a save right there for the goalie from Schmeichel. And corner here for Rangers so far in the game. And now he passed the ball here short here. Header there for Rangers. A goal is being given. And what a header right there for Rangers to get 1 goal back in the matchup. They're still behind though, but at least a little bit of something though in the matchup. They're trying to get themselves in it. But that's 1 goal back in this matchup. But they're still behind though in the matchup, in the game. Now here's Danilo. Running through the ball here. Now Danilo again. Now to Willian. Has a shot. Save right there. The goalkeeper. The goal's been scored, but no. I think he's been, let's say, ruled out there for offside. Offside's been given right there from the flagsman. And now here's a chance here from Victor Piera now for Leicester. And now here's to Longstrom. Now to Diarne. Now Diarne now. Cross it in. Header. Goal again for Rangers. Another finish and another goal has been given. What an amazing header right there from him. To put the ball past the keeper. And now it's the second goal being scored here for Rangers. So yeah, 4-2. Now here's to Pratt. Now to Longstrom. Now to Piera. Now to Danilo. He pushes through here for a goal potentially. He does. And what an amazing finish right there from Andres Piera. And now it's 4-3. 4-3 right there. What a goal right there from him. To put the ball right in home. And that's an amazing finish right there from Andres Piera. And now it's 4-3. And maybe a comeback. And I've got to say that, by the way, that Rangers have scored a 3rd goal in their matchup here. 4-3 to Leicester. But a comeback could happen. And it might be not looking good here for Sheffield United otherwise. If Rangers can score 2 goals more at Ajax. And now Fabinho now for Spurs. And he scores. And it's now 2-0 to Tottenham. And we've got at least now, not over yet though, of the game to go, because Spurs are winning here by 2-0. Sheffield United now have to depend on Leicester to win the game here over Rangers in the other matchup to keep themselves safe and keep their Premier League status intact for next season. It all depends on Sheffield United relying on Leicester now in their game at Ajax. And by the way, now that the table looks like this at the moment here, as Rangers are currently in 18th place. They have to score 2 goals they've got to score in the next 10 minutes from now for a chance for Rangers to win 5-4 and escape the drop from relegation if they can score 2 goals from now in injury time. But a save right there into the keeper's hands of Schmeichel to clear the ball out away from danger here for Leicester. And now here's Cameron Archer here now for Sheffield United here. Here's now Mickey van der Ven. Now Kane. Now here's to Fekir. Fouls being given here for Sheffield United here. And now here's to Robinson. Now to Davis. Now Oliver Norwood. Now Norwood now to Archer. Archer's through here. Could be a chance for Sheffield United to score, maybe so for Sheffield. And a goal for Cameron Archer. And a goal back here. And maybe a consolation goal. But I think it looks like Sheffield United are definitely safe, I think, from the drop. Because in the other game, Rangers are losing still 4-3 at Ironbox. So that means that Leicester City might keep Sheffield United up for next season in the Premier League as it stands. We are now nearly here at injury time. Not long left, the game to go, by the way. Not long left. And it looks like here that Rangers will be relegated and Sheffield United will be safe. And it is all over. And Rangers will be confirmed to be relegated to play the Championship for next season. And it wasn't enough on the day, unfortunately, so for Rangers. Not enough at all against Leicester, because Leicester City have won the game here by 4-3, and that will send Rangers back down to the Championship after 2 straight seasons in the top flight of British football. And that means that Sheffield United are safe from the drop as it ends 4-3 to Leicester. And meanwhile at Ironbox Stadium, that Rangers game ended 4-3. And that means that it's been relegation for Rangers and Sheffield United are safe from the drop. And big congratulations to Chris Wilder and Sheffield United. Despite Sheffield United losing the game here this afternoon, they consider themselves safe from the drop, safe from relegation. Forget about the disappointment of the loss here over Spurs, because Sheffield United will be safe from relegation and will play in the Premier League for another straight consecutive season as it ends here at Bramall Lane, as it ends Sheffield United 1, Spurs 2 at full time here at Bramall Lane this afternoon. Not enough points for Rangers this season, as they are now mathematically confirmed as relegated to play now in the Championship for next season, as they unfortunately lost the game 4-3 to Leicester. But as for Sheffield United, they hanged on for dear life and hope that Leicester can do a favour for Sheffield United to be safe from the drop here by the end of obviously this match day on the final day of the Premier League. And what do you make this, Alan, this Sheffield United team to actually hoped, and they did hope, that Leicester could do the job for them and stop Rangers on being the ones to be surviving by the end of these games of the last matchup of the Premier League season? Well, I'd say that obviously fair play to obviously Leicester to kick on the games very, very quickly. 4 goals they've scored in terms of the first half. 4-0 down they were, Rangers. And when they were 4-0 down, of course, Rangers, their confidence, of course, really dropped a lot in that first half. Sheffield United were losing 1-0 to Tottenham, but they know that that result over Rangers, losing 4-0 to Leicester in that first half, really gave them, let's say, nothing to play for, really. And then, however, in the second half, Rangers kicked on and scored 3 goals against Leicester City to make it 4-3. And then worries still occurred a little bit for Sheffield United. They might be involved maybe on Rangers trying to get 2 goals past Leicester to make it 5-4 if it did actually happen during this game, to make it worrying for Sheffield United to actually end up being relegated. But the thing is that Leicester City hanged on for 4-3 lead and 4-3 win away from home, and then Sheffield United, the Blades, had nothing to work on now, and Chris Wilder will be very proud of his team to be the one to be safe from the drop, and also for him to play Premier League football as a manager for Sheffield United for a 2nd consecutive season since being away from the Premier League now since 2007. So very, very impressive, I've got to say, from Chris Wilder to really, let's say, had a very tough season. Favourite to go straight back down to the Championship, but they really, really held on high. Had some odd results, of course, during this season. You know, especially the highlight of the season, Sheffield United won 3-0 to Liverpool in the game at Bramall Lane way back halfway through the season. That was a massive win, that was, for Sheffield United, actually, in that game, beating Liverpool 3-0. And then they had some, let's say, odd results, especially beating Leicester 4-3 in their last win on match day 36. And that win from Sheffield United 4-3 against Leicester was the tone for them to be safe from the drop. And the goal difference was worse off for Sheffield United. You know, minus 51 on goal difference. They conceded the most goals all season in comparison to the teams also below Sheffield United, like Norwich, for example. And they still end up surviving is a massive achievement, I've got to say, from Chris Wilder's side. So I'm very, very proud of him and very proud of the whole players. And I think next season now they've got to invest a lot more in the transfers, of course, to try and bring the best players in for next season to try and survive away from the drop, because now they can really invest now in terms of next season and the project that Chris Wilder wants to try to achieve for Sheffield United as a Premier League club. Thank you very much there, Alan. And now we move on now to the race for European football now between Aston Villa and Liverpool. Who will be in the Champions League qualification by the end of this match day? Will it be Aston Villa or will it be Liverpool? Lot to play for between those two teams, as Liverpool will play at home to Wolves and Villa travel away to Crystal Palace. And let's get to those games right now of the race for the Champions League and the race for Europe between those two teams in their respective games. And let's get straight right now to the matchup between Liverpool and Wolves here at Anfield. Lot to play for, and I can't wait for it here. The race for the chance to qualify for the UEFA Champions League is definitely on here. And Liverpool and Villa are going to be at it in the last games of the season to find out who will get 5th place and who will get that last spot to qualify for the UEFA Champions League. Lots to play for between those two sides. And we know that obviously Wolves are a team that got nothing to play for here. They're now safe now to play Premier League football for another season. So they've got nothing to play for, Wolves, as they're safe already from the drop. But as for Liverpool and Villa, there's a lot to play for in terms of Champions League football for next season. But as for Liverpool's team, despite they've got a UEFA Champions League final in a couple of weeks from now against Man City, they do have here Alisson and Eden Mateo, Konate, Trent Alexander-Arnold, McAllister as well playing. We also got Thiago, Sabitzer, Rafael Leao, Darwin Nunez and Rafinha for the Liverpool team. And they've got a strong team, Liverpool, by the way, to hopefully win here this afternoon's game over against here Wolves in this matchup. But as for the visitors for Wolves, they've got the team here, the lineup here, as goalkeeper will be definitely Jose Sarri in goal to wrap up the season here for Wolves, as we do have 5 defenders at the back with Craig Dawson, Mario Lemina, Neves, Chana, Wang Hee as well, and also Don Tiore up front as well for Wolves. And there's Wang Hee Chang as well also in the team. And Wolves look ready here for kickoff over Liverpool here live at Anfield here for this afternoon. And hopefully could Klopp's team get the Champions League qualification by the end of this game. And they do play Champions League football in a couple of weeks from now, Liverpool over Manchester City, and could be a 6th team, could even qualify for the Champions League for next season if they end up coming 6th here for this afternoon, and also win the Champions League for next week will be massive for Liverpool. They can do so. They've got a lot to play for here, especially here this afternoon. They get 5th place rather than worry about that trophy in the finals for next week against Man City. They can worry about qualifying instead today. And Wolves almost shot there for a goal potentially, but safe. And we are here live at Selhurst Park between Crystal Palace and Aston Villa. There's a lot to play for here between these two sides for a chance on, maybe for Villa, but definitely to win here over Palace for a chance to qualify for the UEFA Champions League for next season. Villa beat Liverpool 3-2 at Villa Park last week. Villa Park was a win for Aston Villa, a massive win for Aston Villa live at Villa Park. And now obviously the last game of the season, they have to do it of course here over against here Palace to try and secure that qualification into the Champions League for next season. And we do have the lineup here for Palace first, as we do have as the goalkeeper for Palace, as we do have Dean Henderson. We also got his Anderson, we've got Joe Ward as well, we've got Eze, Lemina, we've got Wilfred Zaha, Michael Olise, Mateta as well. Very good team for Palace, by the way, a very good team for Palace, just to let you guys all know on that. But as of we all know that for the opposition, for Aston Villa, we know that for them a massive win over Liverpool from last week will put them now above Liverpool going into this game here this afternoon. All they've got to do now is win and qualify for the Champions League, of course, hopefully by the end of this game. A lot to play for here for Unai Emery's men, and could they do it here? We have to find out if they can. And across into the box here from Villa, maybe a chance here for a goal! It's gone to the keeper there, Dean Henderson there, nice and comfortable right there from him. And now here's to Eze now for Palace. Palace now through here, now here's to Michael Olise. And a chance here now for him to shoot maybe. Now it's Douglas Luiz. Now here's Diaby. Now is Jefferson Lerma. And now to Patterson. Now to Gerard Moreno. All the way here now for a chance for Diaby to shoot and score, and it's a goal! And Villa are in the lead, and Villa are getting closer now for a chance to qualify for the Champions League for next season. What an unbelievable strike right there from Diaby, and Villa have scored an amazing goal from him in the game. As what a finish from Moussa Diaby to put that ball right past the goalkeeper, and that's a brilliant shot from him. And Villa are in front here, and Liverpool have to hope that Palace can do anything in this game to stop Villa from picking up the 3 points. And it's all been confirmed that a goal scored here for Villa in their matchup at Selhurst Park will leave you like this, by the way. Villa will be in the Champions League for next season if it stays like this, with the league table shows you down the bottom of the screen, by the way. Villa will play Champions League at the moment because it's 0-0 between Liverpool and Wolves in this matchup so far. And now here's to, it looks like now, Neves. And now header there, back away here now to Liverpool here now. Now Liverpool on the attack. And now here's Darwin Nunez. And now Thiago now for a shot, but offside. Not looking good there. Offside's being given, by the way. Now pass the ball short there to Kilman. And now here's to Neves. Now Neves now passed there to Chunner. Lost it back there to Edler Mateo. And now here's to Darwin Nunez now. Pushing through here for Liverpool. Could be a goal for Liverpool, and he does score. And what an amazing goal right there from him. To put the ball right into the back of the net. And Liverpool are in front in the matchup. And now here's Bailey. Shoot, save. And by the way, Liverpool scored in their matchup at Wolves at Anfield. That means that Liverpool are already 1 point behind from Aston Villa as we speak at the moment. Only 1 point. A chance here for a shot maybe so. But Villa to score another, but save again there for the goalkeeper, Dean Henderson. Massive chance here for him to score by, but what a save. And now it's going to be here a cross into the box here, corner. Header there away. Now could be a chance here now, looks like here on the counter-attack here. And the whistle here blows for, it looks like here at half-time has been given here. And that will mean that we have a 1-0 lead here for Aston Villa at Selhurst Park. And it is 1-0 to Villa at half-time at Selhurst Park to Palace. And now here's Chunner. Now McAllister. Now Thiago. Now to Sabitzer now to Gomez. And now Hwang Hee-chan. And now Neves. Now to Hwang Hee-chan. And now here's Robertson. Foul. Oh. Holds it. Now to Sabitzer. Now Gomez. And looks like there's been a foul right there, and the referee gives him a yellow card. And now here's Zaha. Now to, looks like Matty Cash. Now Leon Bailey. Now Diaby. Anderson. Now Franca. Mateta. Now Eze. Now Mateta there to shoot. And a goal for Palace. 1-1. Game on here. Game on. What a goal there for Mateta to put Palace level in the game. What an amazing goal right there from him. Into that, straight in that back of the net as well. And right there Mateta scores to make it 1-1. And now it looks like here that Liverpool might be more confident now as it's 1-1. And that will mean now that Liverpool move up to 5th place in the league as it stands at the moment. But meanwhile here, goal for Leon Bailey. And Liverpool had a little bit of hope because it was 1-1 and Liverpool moved up to 5th place in the Champions League spots. But now it looks like here Villa scored straight away when Palace scored. And now they're back in front again. Villa are back in front from being, let's say, 1-1 now to looks like here 2-1. And now offside's being given. So free kick here for Liverpool. And now Sabitzer. Now to Rafinha now. Pushing through here now. Looks like for Liverpool to make it a chance here for a goal. And a save right there for the goalkeeper. Massive save right there for the goalie there to save that one. And it stays like this at the moment. That Villa, of course, are currently in 5th place. And Liverpool are down to 6th because disappointingly Palace gave away a goal to make it 2-1. So that means it drags Liverpool back down to 6th again. And now a chance for Sabitzer. And Sabitzer makes it 2-0 to Liverpool. And all they've got to do now, Liverpool, is hope for Palace to get themselves a goal. If it goes 2-2 Palace in the other game, then Liverpool got a chance to qualify here instead rather than wait for that final for next week against Man City. Because Man City and Liverpool will play each other in the Champions League final for next week. If Liverpool don't win today's top 5 race, then they can go all the way and win the final instead next week. And a massive chance there, looks like there, that Palace's Eze right there could have scored. And it went right out away from target. So a goal kick's being given here for Aston Villa in the matchup as we speak. So Emiliano Martinez will take it. And he boots the ball now away from danger. Header there now, looks like to Wilfried Zaha. And now Bailey. Now to Diaby. Then Diaby shoots and a goal for Diaby to make it 3-1. What a goal there from Diaby. Moussa Diaby makes it 3. What a brilliant goal and what a brilliant run right there from him to put the ball right past the goalie. And that's an absolute brilliant strike and a brilliant goal to make sure Villa win the game and Villa secure Champions League football for next season. That goal right there is a killer for Liverpool, definitely now. What a goal. And we do hear that now that Villa have scored another goal over Palace. It's now 3-1 to Villa. As it looks like now there's not long time left of the game to go, by the way. Not long left. And looks like Villa will secure Champions League football and Liverpool will have to play in the Europa League unless they win the Champions League next week over Man City. Then there'll be 6 teams rather than 5 teams qualify for the Champions League for next season. So there's a lot of pressure now on Liverpool to go and win that European final by next week, hopefully, if they can try and win against Man City in Madrid for next week at the Wanda Metropolitano. There's a chance here for a header there from Wolves. Save right there for a corner. And cross into the box here for Wolves here. Header, save right there to the goalkeeper. And the whistle blows here at the end of the matchup. As what an amazing win for Liverpool. But unfortunately, it wasn't enough, unfortunately, on the day to go up to 5th place. Because Villa won their matchup over Palace. And that will mean that Liverpool have to rely on that Champions League final against Man City in Madrid to win that Champions League final and be the 6th team to qualify with Villa to be a part of the Champions League for next season. But at the moment, they have to play in the Europa League, unfortunately, for next season as it stands at the moment. As it ends at full time, Liverpool 2, Wolves 0 at full time. And now here's McGinn. Now Anderson won it back here for Palace. Henderson. And the whistle blows for full time. And it is all over, and Villa will secure Champions League football for next season. The Champions League will be Unai Emery's for next season. His destiny has been complete in his first full season to win themselves that chance to qualify for the UEFA Champions League, and Liverpool now have to rely on that European final against Man City by next week to win that game to qualify to be the 6th team to qualify for the Champions League. But it ends here at full time as Palace 1, Villa 3 at full time. For the first time in 43 years, Aston Villa are a Champions League team, and that is an absolute massive achievement for Unai Emery's men to do so. The race for Europe was Villa's, and they'll secure now a chance to play in the Champions League for next season. And what was your thoughts about, obviously, Liverpool now have to play a chance on that Champions League final now in next week, for a chance of making it 6 teams to play in the Champions League if they win next week over City in that major Champions League final. Because here this afternoon, they won the game 2-0 over Wolves, but unfortunately that wasn't enough because Villa won 3-1 over Palace. So that means that Villa will secure that 5th position as a team to qualify for the Champions League. Tell us your thoughts about Villa to be now a Champions League team. Well, absolutely a massive achievement for Unai Emery's men to actually be his first season in charge as manager for Villa. He really, let's say, gave Villa that togetherness to really, let's say, kick on in terms of really, let's say, establish themselves as a top team, can try and break into the top 6 of the Premier League, and they did that very nicely. They really, let's say, had some very, let's say, good wins over the Big 6 throughout the season, especially beating Man United by 4-1, the champions of the league at Old Trafford, and also beat them at Villa Park as well, a double over 6-pointer over Man United, and even got a result as well over teams such as Man United, got a result as well over Liverpool as well from last week. Was a massive win. If they did actually lost to Liverpool last week, then it would have been a chance that Liverpool will be in that hot seat to qualify instead for that 5th position. But Villa were very brave, they were, in terms of wins this season. Even beating Man City as well this season was massive as well. Their achievement, of course. And they've been, let's say, the dark horses this season, like what Everton have done during the season. Everton were in that top 4 and top 5 majority of the season, but at the end of the season they started to crumble, and they started to have the pressure on them, and then Everton started to drop away from that Champions League positionings, and they obviously secure now 8th position now in a Conference League place for next season. But as of a Villa, they're the real dark horses to really be, as let's say, resilient throughout the whole season. Not like Everton, who've only been resilient, let's say, 70% of that season, but the 30% they crumbled, and that's why Everton could not be the dark horses of this season to play in the Champions League. But as of for Villa, very good team, and I think they're going to be very, giving it against the likes of Bayern Munich next season, Real Madrid, the Red Devils, Feyenoord, and etc. Those teams they're going to be competing against next season for the UEFA Champions League. So I'm really excited for them, of course, to see how Unai Emery can do in that competition. But yeah, very proud of Villa to do so here, to get the win over the line, and now they're in the Champions League for a reason. And thank you there, Alan. And now we move on now before we wrap up the show here this afternoon for BBC Match of the Day for the final time of this season. We do have now the big coverage, of course, of the Premier League here, of the highlights of the other games here on Match Day 38 before we wrap up the show here this afternoon. And a real perfect goal here for Arsenal in the matchup here, as Gabriel Jesus got himself the finish here past the keeper of Jordan Pickford to make it 1-0 to the Arsenal so far in the first 6 minutes in the game. And what a superb goal right there from the top goal scorer of the Premier League for the end of the season so far, as he could be headed to win the Golden Boot by the end of this game. And what a superb goal here for Everton from a corner within 10 minutes in the matchup. Across there from Alex Iwobi, went to the feet right there from Dwight McNeil to strike that ball past the goalie now. And now Arsenal and Everton are level at the Emirates. And a nice perfect finish right here from Arsenal in the matchup here, as a good pass there to Gabriel Jesus, scored another goal here for the Gunners. And what a perfect finish right there from him, as looks like Gabriel Martinelli right there. A nice run of the football here for him to pass there to Jesus, the Brazilian. And now it's 2-1 to Arsenal. And then Everton kept fighting in the matchup here, as Declan Rice lost the ball there to Ross Barkley, intercept. And then Richarlison right there carried on pushing through past the defenders of Arsenal. And then Richarlison found a chance there to shoot past Raya. And Everton are now back level again here at the Emirates. What a finish and what a goal right there from Everton. And then, however, straight after that, Jesus scores a hat-trick past Jordan Pickford to make it 3-2 in the game. And that man Jesus has definitely got his eyesight now on the Golden Boot by the end of this game. A hat-trick also anyways this matchup makes it here 3-2 to the Gunners. And then Everton got themselves, looks like, a goal gave away again stupidly here, as what a finish from Gabriel Martinelli to score the 4th goal to make it 4-2 in the matchup, as he was let's say, had a lot of space available for him to finish that ball past Jordan Pickford. And now it's 4-2 to Arsenal in the match. And then looks like here Arsenal back heel there to Declan Rice there, all the way to again from Gabriel Jesus to score another goal in the matchup to make it 4 goals in his tally in this whole entire game. And looks like Gabriel Jesus is definitely on fire in the final game of the Premier League season for Arsenal. And then Everton got themselves a goal back in the matchup here, as Dominic Calvert-Lewin scores past here on David Raya, as a goal festival here in this matchup at the Emirates in the last game of the Premiership season. As what a strike right there from Dominic Calvert-Lewin, as he puts that ball right past Raya. And what a goal there from Dominic Calvert-Lewin here for Everton. And then wrapping up the game here, looks like Jesus scores another goal to make it 6 goals in his tally here tonight. And what a win right here from Arsenal, as it ends Arsenal 6, Everton 3 at full time. And a real perfect run here from Kasper Dolberg here for Brentford. He passed it nicely right there to Ivan Toney to slot that ball right past the goalkeeper right there of Nick Pope. As what a finish right there from Toney, as Brentford take the lead, and it's now 1-0 to the Bees in the game. And then, however, Newcastle got themselves a goal back in the matchup, as Callum Wilson ran through right there, past a few defenders, and scored against the goalkeeper right there for Brentford, Flacken. As what a finish right there from him, as Newcastle United are now level against Brentford. But unfortunately, a penalty was given for, looks like, Newcastle in the matchup, as a foul right there from Miguel Almiron here, and a yellow card right there from Sousa for Brentford to give away a penalty here for Newcastle in the matchup. And then to wrap up the season for Newcastle, a goal for Callum Wilson to score past the goalkeeper of Newcastle United. And Newcastle get ready now for the Europa Conference League final on Tuesday night in Lisbon against Padres Impact in 3 days' time. But it ends here at full time here, 2-1 to Newcastle. A brilliant start here for Brighton in the matchup here. They scored the first goal, as looks like Dominic Solanke puts Brighton the Seagulls in the lead here, as a real perfect assist from Mitoma to find a pass there to Dominic Solanke to score the ball past the goalkeeper of Keylor Navas to put Brighton in front. But however, the champions of the Premier League, Manchester United, got themselves the goal to make it 1-1, and the captain, Bruno Fernandes, wraps up the season for Man United with that goal to wrap up the whole entire Premiership season, as United got to look forward to now the FA Cup final to take on Arsenal for next weekend, and they wrap up the league here for this afternoon by a draw in the matchup. The two sides are now relegated to play the Championship for next season, but what a great start from Norwich. The other team are relegated with Celtic, scored the first goal in the matchup before these two teams depart from this division, and they play each other in the last game of the season, and unfortunately right there, Norwich got themselves that goal to make it 1-0 in the game so far from Josh Sargent. And then Celtic got themselves their noses back level in this matchup as Nathan Redmond scores past the goalkeeper Angus Gunn. And what a terrific goal right there. A great run right there from him to really make sure that Celtic get themselves that victory in their last farewell game in the top flight of British football, until these two will be playing Championship football together in the Championship for next season. And then Celtic got themselves a goal back in front again, and then finally did it again by Chris Wood, as Celtic are in front for the first time in this matchup, as a real perfect run right there for the New Zealander of Chris Wood to make it 2-1 to Celtic in the game. And a real perfect finish again for Celtic, as looks like their Morgan Gibbs-White scored a real brilliant rocket goal past the goalkeeper of Angus Gunn, as that ball went past him over his head, as what a brilliant strike right there from him. And now Celtic extend the lead to make it 3-1 in the matchup here over Norwich. And before Celtic send farewell to the Premier League, as they'll be relegated to the Championship for next season, the last ever goal in the top flight of British football was scored for Celtic by the Japanese midfielder Furuhashi to score the last goal for Celtic here at Celtic Park, before these two teams depart now to play Championship football together for next season. A nice counter-attack here from Chelsea to score the first goal of the matchup in the last game of the season of the Premier League, as Tammy Abraham scores past Leeds goalkeeper Mounier. As what a little turn right there from Abraham, the turn past the defender of Llorente, and now Chelsea lead by 1-0 over Leeds. And then Chelsea carried on scoring another goal past Leeds United, as a real good run there for Lukaku. Nice pass again there, all the way to Tammy Abraham to score his second goal in the matchup. 2 goals he scored for Chelsea. His second goal past Mounier was a real rocket goal to make it 2-0. And then Abraham really hold it nicely for the great pass right there from Enzo Fernandez to score the third goal in the matchup. As what an unbelievable goal right there from him, as now Chelsea are now 3 goals up to the good here in this matchup so far. What a brilliant strike and what a brilliant hit from him. And then again here, Tammy Abraham scores a hat-trick right past the goalkeeper Mounier, as what a brilliant run right there from him to take it past the few defenders. And now Abraham strikes it to make it a hat-trick in the game for Chelsea. And then Chelsea scored a 5th goal in the matchup here in the game, as an unbelievable great run right there from, looks like from Kulu right there. A great cross there to Lukaku to win them the matchup, as the full-time score blew at Stamford Bridge, as it ends Chelsea 5, Leeds United 0 in the final game of the Premier League season. And Chelsea will now occupy the Europa League spot for next season after coming 7th in the league. An unbelievable cross right here from Man City in the matchup, as what a header right there from Rodri, who scored the first goal for Manchester City in the matchup, as an unbelievable header right there from Rodri to put the ball past Areola. And now City lead the game by 1-0 so far in the matchup. And then Man City carried on fighting to score another goal in the matchup. Kyle Walker found the young teenager who scored against Man City And I know obviously Man City in that last game of the Premier League season has gave this young teenager Breckin to score the first goal his whole entire professional career at the age of 16 in the matchup to score his first ever goal as Man City player. And however, Lionel Messi got himself a goal against Areola to make it 3-0 in the matchup, as what a brilliant hit right there from Lionel Messi to strike that ball past the goalkeeper right there of Areola to make it 1-0 to Manchester City in the match. And then Man City got themselves that last goal of the matchup to win themselves a fourth goal and won the whole entire game from Phil Foden, who won Man City the whole entire matchup, as the full-time score ended as Man City 4, West Ham United 0 at full-time. The official results of match day 38, the last games of the results of the last game of the season of the Premier League. Sheffield United 1, Spurs 2, Rangers 3, Leicester City 4, Crystal Palace 1, Aston Villa 3, Liverpool 2, Wolves 0, Man City 4, West Ham United 0, Celtic 3, Norwich 3, Arsenal 6, Everton 3, Brighton 1, Man United 1, Chelsea 5, Leeds 0, and Brentford 1, Newcastle 2. And the official table of the Premier League, as we know that Man United are the team became champions of this division, and they leave this season with 85 points. In second place we do have is Man City, in second with 77 points. In third place we have is Arsenal with 74 points. And in fourth place to qualify for the Champions League is Spurs with 72 points. But Aston Villa came fifth and the fifth team to qualify for the Champions League for the first time in 43 years, as they came fifth with 68 points. But Liverpool, however, have got a Champions League final in a couple of weeks from now over Manchester City to get themselves to be the sixth team to qualify for the Champions League. But at the moment, Liverpool are in the Europa League places. In 7th position we have is Chelsea, in 8th is Everton, in 9th place we have is Newcastle, and to wrap up the top half of the table is West Ham United with 57 points. And the official table of the bottom half of the table is Leicester City are currently in 11th position with 55 points, in 12th position is Brentford 51, in 13th place is Leeds with 50, in 14th place is Crystal Palace with 46, in 15th place is Brighton, in 16th place is Wolves, and survived the drop we have is Sheffield United with 30 points, while Rangers, Celtic and Norwich City will guarantee relegation to play the Championship for next season. And congratulations to the Golden Boot winner of Gabriel Jesus for Arsenal, scored 58 goals, the top ever goal scorer of the Premier League season of this campaign with 58 goals, and also the Golden Boot winner. And also congratulations to Anthony Lopez, the Spurs goalkeeper, to actually have 11 clean sheets under his name throughout the whole Premier League season, as he wins the clean sheets the most of this Premier League season. And also coming up, of course, on the finals coming up, by the way, during for this week coming, we do have the FA Cup final between Manchester United as they play against Arsenal at Wembley Stadium, and that'll be live for next weekend. And also we do have the Europa Conference League for Newcastle United as they play Padres Impact. And could Newcastle win the European trophy potentially so by the end of June this week? And also the Europa League final for Spurs as they take on against Shakhtar Donetsk. And last but not least, in a few weeks from now, we do have the Champions League final. Could Liverpool make it 6 teams to qualify for the Champions League, as Liverpool will play Man City in the UEFA Champions League final live in Madrid between those two huge sides in that game in a couple of weeks from now. And that's all the coverage here of the Premier League here. For all the games, coverages of all the games throughout the whole Premier League all comes to an end. And that's all we have time for here in the studio. From myself here today, Gary Lineker, and also Alan Shearer, as we'll be returning back for next week with the FA Cup final between Manchester United and also Arsenal. And I look forward to that game very exclusively for next week. And that'll be a wrap of the whole season on BBC Match of the Day. But until then, have a very, very good afternoon, everyone.